everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town, live broadcast tonight. Took a few weeks off, fully rested, and tonight I have on a special guest. I've known David a long time now, and I like what he stands for, and he's one of my favorite selectmen. Please welcome David Golden.
Thanks for having me here tonight, Karen.
You're welcome. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a little over a year.
Yeah. When you first ran, when are you up again?
There's 2 more cycles, so I'm...
Not next year?
Not next year, but the year after.
Year after.
Yeah.
What is it next year? Dickie and?
Dick Quintal and Kevin Canty are up for re-election next year.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for sitting on the board. I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of selectmen in my tenure, 52 years here, but you're one of the better ones.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I love your wife.
Oh, yeah. She had a great time when she came on the show.
Well, she's a sweetheart.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's definitely my better half.
Oh, see, that's the mark of a good husband. Now, lots happened. I have a few things here.
Sure.
A lot has happened on the select board.
Yeah.
And before we get into that, though, David, there are things to talk about. I want to talk about what happened last night.
Sure.
2 things. One is Mr. Cirque, which I totally agree with.
Yeah.
Zoning bylaws have to change. As an example, Burt's.
Yep.
It's an eyesore.
Absolutely.
And he's been before the selectmen 4 times.
Yep.
At least, I think, talking about that. And he gave really a solid performance last night as to how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm always reluctant to get lawyers involved.
Sure.
Because their first inclination is to say no.
Yeah.
But I think it's doable.
Yeah.
And I to pay respect to Mr. Cirque, I think he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Well, first I'll say that I have tremendous respect for Richard Cirque. I think he's an outstanding town meeting member. He's a great advocate for the town of Plymouth. He spends a lot of time trying to educate the public on issues that are happening here in town.
True.
And while he and I don't always agree on policy issues, I believe that he has the best interests of Plymouth in mind.
Oh, yeah.
And in this particular situation, I do agree with him that there is some action that the board can and should take in order to address the issues at Burt and at other locations across the community that are blights or nuisances, public health risks to...
Because we deserve better. And that owner has said for years, like Richard said, for years, oh, I'm going to do something. Oh, somebody's interested, and nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
And the building gets worse. And what a shame, because how many people go by there?
Hundreds every day, I imagine. It's one of the main thoroughfares through town.
It's terrible. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I totally agree with Mrs. Cavaco.
Yes.
And when she said that, I got the biggest kick out of it. I said, here we go. And, but it has gone far away from its intent.
Sure.
Shishigahama. You know what's funny to me is there were people running for the select board this last time that said the select board, the town manager, was not transparent. They are very transparent.
Absolutely.
Well, the board now, under this leadership of the chair, is not. So when Mrs. Cavaco got up, when Betty gets up and says something, it takes a lot for her to get up and do something like that.
Yeah.
And she's absolutely right. Those kids should go free. It's not a junket. Years ago, when it first started, it was kids first, and a couple of selectmen, of course, a couple of chaperones.
Sure.
Now, I think the only person that's going in that group that's really will find things out and bring it back to Plymouth is the assistant DPW director,
Yeah.
because of the way the Japanese do the roads.
Sure.
He will come back with some solid things. But what do you think?
Yeah, well, you're bringing up all the heavy hitters here tonight.
You can handle it.
Just like Mr. Serkey, I have tremendous respect for Mrs. Cavaco. In fact, when I first moved to Plymouth, she was one of the first people that I reached out to and started communicating with about the town government. She was always very helpful to me. She helped me get involved and connected me both in Manamet, where she and I live, and across the town. So I'm very thankful to Betty and all of her support throughout the years. I share some of the concerns that she has about the affordability for our student population.
Students.
I've asked the chair, as well as the town manager and the superintendent of schools to seriously consider providing additional support for
Absolutely.
for those students who are going over there, and to do it up front in the future, so that the folks that Mrs. Cavaco spoke about, who are less well resourced, can think about doing it in the future as well. I'd be in full support of providing our kids the opportunity to get over there.
And the third thing is the going to different sections of the town. The premise is not bad, but nothing is discussed.
Yeah.
It is just done. We're not used to having things done that way, because the board was always very transparent, always talked about things. What do you think about going on the road? We're going to go here. Where could we go? How do people feel about it? Boom, and go.
Yeah.
Everything is done behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think we've had great success with the on the road so far. It's not to say that they will all be successful, but I'm hopeful, given the first two, that they will be.
Yeah.
We're at South High School for the next one. We're going to be going to Manamet Elementary, and we will be looking at going to West Plymouth and North Plymouth in the future as well. I would say that in my time on the board, it's always been the prerogative of the chair to set the meeting location, particularly on nights where we have a scheduled meeting. I spoke with several folks about this at the time. I understand the sentiment that if an agenda item is requested, that there's a history of deference to the members. I see both sides of the argument. But I'm very happy with how the on the roads have gone so far. It's given me work to do. I've started looking into things like Chapter 61, a way to stabilize funding for us to actually purchase properties that come up for sale. Because folks don't know this, but we have almost the largest tract of Chapter 61 land in the town of Plymouth, compared to anywhere in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. If that land were to be sold for development, we could be looking at an explosion in population unlike anything we've seen before. We've already seen, in the last 30 years, the population has nearly tripled.
It's been longer. It's been 50 plus years.
Yeah, and if those lands go to residential development, we're in some serious hot water. So I'm looking in ways to stabilize that.
Mitigate that.
And the water quality issues that are being brought up in Cedarville.
Please.
Yes.
It's hysteria. Our water is fine.
Agreed.
And the person that stands up all the time stirring the pot just to stir the pot. Yes, madam, we understand you don't like the people in our government. Yep. But what she's doing, I would say, is almost criminal. To stir people up like that over something that is not true. Yeah,
it's certainly irresponsible of her or anyone to claim that our water is at risk. This select board, previous select boards, water is among our number one priorities. I drink the water. You drink the water. My daughter actually goes to camp in South Plymouth.
And you get the reports all the time.
Yeah, I sat on the Board of Health.
That's true.
We studied the water quality reports, and we're not even remotely close to being in a crisis with water. In fact, we have some of the cleanest water in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts has some of the cleanest water in America. So
that's why they want our water.
Yeah. So we're going to protect the aquifer. There's no question about that. But to stir up rage among residents about there being an issue is inappropriate. But that being said, I hear the folks in Cedarville. They want to see the data. So I'm working with town administration to make sure that we're taking two steps. Hopefully, doing some additional testing so that it's monitored more regularly, and then advertising those results so that folks can feel more comfortable about the work that they're doing.
Years ago, we're talking years, we used to get a mailing of the water quality. Mm-hmm. So perhaps you could do that, but it's just terrible what that woman does.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, I've gone by the Full Sail. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah, I think it'll always be called the Full Sail.
Yeah.
And if David puts that canopy on it, it'll
make sense.
It'll make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my former colleague Charlie Bletzer.
Charlie.
In this instance, Charlie was instrumental in getting the Full Sail done, the deal done. He brought the players to the table. He put the pieces together. He did countless outreach to the neighborhood, to the community at large. So I want to thank Charlie for the work that he did on the Full Sail. I went down there earlier today. It looks great.
It does.
The building's gone. They've refilled that landing with some sand and stabilizing materials.
Yeah.
It's going to look great when it's done. It's going to be such an asset to the White Horse Beach area.
In the parking lot across the street?
Yep. So there's going to be work done there in the coming months, and there'll be a cut-through in that area. And crosswalks will be added. We're talking about having a raised speed hump there to make sure that folks are extra safe when they're coming over and enjoying that amenity.
And there'll be a picnic table there,
I think there are still some finer details. There'll definitely be some seating in that area. We're hoping that the sails will be there. Some informational plaques will be placed there as well. So
David does a great job
anyway.
Look at Jenny Gristmill.
Yeah. That's really coming together. That's going to be a multi-phase project.
Yeah.
It's going to look unbelievable when it's done.
Now, there's traffic improvements on Taylor Ave.
Yeah, so right in that same area as the Full Sail. I heard from a lot. Karen and I are both Manametters, and so
Manamutions.
Manamutions. And I hear from people all the time in the White Horse area. They know I'm the only one that lives in the area, so I get a lot of the calls. And there was where White Horse Road turns into Taylor Ave is a precarious turning area.
Yeah.
I worked with the police department, the DPW, to get some traffic mitigation down there, repainting lines. They put in some additional signage. They put in one of those solar-powered speed signs.
Yeah, it's a sharp right.
It's very sharp.
And if you don't come from here and know that that's coming up, you have to really maybe go 5-10 miles an hour.
Absolutely. So we've really slowed things down in that area, and I think it's going to really help when the Full Sail is fully completed. We have to have like a full understanding and planning process of what's going to happen down there.
Absolutely. Well, see, I've always said White Horse Beach is a prettier beach than Long Beach.
Yeah.
Until you get way out on Long Beach.
Yeah.
But White Horse Beach, low tide, you can't beat it.
Oh, it's a real treasure. It's one of the premier beaches, I think, in the South Shore.
Just beautiful. So, and I'm so glad. I always have to live by water.
Yeah.
Did you always live by water?
I did, yeah. I grew up in South Boston.
Oh, know it well.
I was, just a short walk to Moakley Park, and right across the street from there was the beach. So
my mother grew up on L Street.
yeah. I was born on D Street, raised on West 9th, and lived in Andrew Square in high school.
Years ago.
But I haven't lived there, and
yeah,
I've lived out of Southie longer than I've been.
Years ago, when I was a kid, D Street was wild.
Yeah. I think it still is.
It
but
still is.
It's a totally different city now.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
you can't touch the rent.
It's populated by postgraduates from college, and it's a big party city now.
Plus, you can't live there. You have to be making Mugo bucks.
Yeah, when my wife and I we met working at Stonehill College, we were both living on campus there. When we moved off, she was moving in with a friend, and they said to me, "Oh, we're gonna look at Southie," and I laughed at them. I said, "You're not gonna live in South Boston. You might as well look in Dorchester."
Yeah.
And they ended up in right behind JFK UMass.
Oh yeah, it's like Charlestown.
Yeah.
Those apartments they were cold water flats, $28, $30, $40 bucks, the most.
Yep. And the waterfront now in South Boston, it's like multi-million-dollar condos.
And South End has become that too.
Yep.
My girlfriend's daughter bought a condo on Dover Street.
Yep.
$2.2 million.
Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable.
Yep. I shake my head.
Well, hopefully we're taking steps here in Plymouth to
what about
prevent
Atlantic Golf Course?
Well, Atlantic's one of those Chapter 61 lands that I was talking about. So, that really spurred my conversations with the town manager, the chair of our board, the finance director. How can we organize this in such a way that we're prepared for future 61 sales? I think Derek Brindisi, our town manager, mentioned.
I love him.
He's great. In one of his recent town manager updates, he discussed how the board received an initial intent to sell.
Right.
We found that to be a non-bona fide offer.
It was ridiculous.
They sent back what they thought was a corrected offer. We
Again.
said this is still not bona fide. They've now sent us a letter saying it is, and the board needs to make a decision. So it's still subject to executive session, and we'll be discussing how we can move forward with this. But it's something that's critically important to the people that live in South Plymouth.
It's important to me. I live further up. First of all, the golf course itself doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
Now you're going to shove in, I don't know, how many hundreds of homes?
Yeah. The last I heard, it was between 400 and 600 homes. So, that has implications beyond, the area is surrounded by dirt roads, but it goes way beyond that in terms of infrastructure. We need to have access and potentially even the location of a fire station. The schools are going to be impacted by this. The character of the neighborhood
is going to be impacted, isn't it? Because that's another outlet.
Yep. The whole road system down there is insufficient to handle that type of development. And I'm not an anti-development selectman. I think that we ought to be investing in housing here in Plymouth, but we got to do it in the right locations. We have to do it with the right density. And I think a project of that magnitude in South Plymouth, especially in that specific area, is wildly inappropriate.
I think a couple of hundred people should get together and march on the land.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think they're far from it. I think, I mean, we've been on the road twice now for our selectmen's meeting, and we've heard from those folks more than anything else. It's one of the number one issues that
Well, Manamet doesn't like it either.
Yep. There's implications for the entire town.
Yeah. Tax-wise, too.
Yeah, it'll cost us quite a pretty penny.
Quite a pretty penny. Now, I was so pleased last night. I actually started to cry when Stevie brought up Kenny and the air conditioners.
Yeah.
because I remember that fondly.
Yeah.
And how hard the both of them worked
Yep.
to make that happen.
Yep.
And the fire chief, Ed Bradley, he was wonderful.
Yeah.
Then the police chief, Mike, got involved.
Yep.
And DPW got involved. It was wonderful. Now, Dickie last night, his gesture was fabulous.
Yep.
He's going to do the first, he's going to put $5,000 into that. Just, that's who Dickie is.
Yeah.
He's just wonderful.
He's one of the most generous guys in
one
the
of the
community.
most generous. And so, and I know, I think Betty has taken this under her wing too, and she's going to do a lot.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, one of the first things I learned about Steve Lyden was that Kenny Buechs is his best friend.
Yeah.
And he tells me all the time how important this specific project was to them. When he came last night and gave his public comment, he's probably watching at home right now.
If he's not in a meeting.
he made clear that he's heard from a number of folks who are living in Plymouth Housing Authority regulated housing that they're without an air conditioner, and we're coming up on an incredible heat wave over the next couple of days. We're going to see temperatures exceed 100 degrees. So when our meeting ended, I went up and spoke with him and Everett Malaguti and the town manager and said, what can we do to help out? I spent most of today trying to track down Chris Plord, who is the director of the housing authority.
They were awful to Kenny and Stephen,
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
I finally got him on the phone this evening, just before I came here. He told me that he's under the impression that his tenants have air conditioners. The ones that were without received them from the Oak Colony Elder Services group, but out of an abundance of caution, he's gonna reach out to his entire community, and tomorrow he's gonna let me know
give you the
exactly
number.
How many people are in need, and in addition to Mr. Quintal, who I thank from the bottom of my heart for his kind gesture, there are a number of folks in the community who are committed to helping out as well, and so we're gonna make sure that anyone who's without gets it back.
Tiny's Glass, Peter, he was wonderful.
Yeah.
Donated, I think, a whole bunch. Special occasion limousine. There were a lot of businesses that stepped forward and bought these. Mind you, nobody had air conditioners.
Yeah.
It wasn't like now he's going to reach out and maybe 5 or 6 don't have them.
Yeah.
It
There were
was
50, 100.
Absolutely. That didn't, and
Yeah.
they were dying, and those apartments are hot anyway.
Right. And it's not like we live in a climate that's hot in the summer. It's regularly exceeds 80 degrees, and we get a fair number of 100+ days in New England.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of those folks who are in need.
Absolutely. And maybe even people that live in apartments or homes that don't have air, the elderly.
Yep, absolutely.
Why not?
I would encourage anyone at home who's in need to reach out to the selectmen through our email address. It's just selectmen@plymouth-ma.gov. If we can't directly help, we'll find a way.
They'll find a way, because it's a matter of health, which last night was great.
Yes.
You talked about the
The cha and the chip.
The char and the chip. It sounds like a dance, but talk to me about that.
I'm really excited about this. When I sat on the Board of Health, we talked about a variety of health metrics that were detrimental to Plymouthians' health. We have a higher concentration of cancer in our community than in the Commonwealth at large. We have higher rates of heart disease, things like that. So the CHA, the health assessment, the community health assessment, that will be step 1 of this process, will help us to get a more in-depth view of
what's going on
exactly is happening in our community.
Yeah.
What health risks are posed, and it's not just physical health. It's
it's mental
it's
health.
food, it's mental, it's housing,
Yeah.
it's a whole variety of
Don't
issues.
get me started housing.
Yes.
We would have housing if the illegal immigrants, if Healy
Yeah.
did not flood all the apartments, and then you can't even touch the rent because they're getting paid through the state.
Well, there's a report out recently that it was $1 billion cost to the taxpayers here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to feed, house, and otherwise provide for folks who are.
Has there ever been an audit done in Plymouth as to how many are here and how many take up space in apartments and how many are in the school system?
I don't think so. I think it's a really hard nut to crack. A lot of times it's like a self-reported thing, and no one's going to self-report on themselves. But this community health assessment will really reveal what is going on with the people who are living here, and then we're going to action that through the CHIP, which is the Community Health Improvement Plan. So that hopefully, when we get to that step, we'll be in a different climate. We'll understand exactly what's happening here, and we'll be able to make some meaningful policy and process changes so that our residents are experiencing the best possible health outcomes for them and for their families.
I think it's a wonderful idea. When Derek told me about it a month ago, it really excited me because we have an elderly population, more so in this town than other towns.
And we're getting older.
Yeah, well, I'm amazed that I'm still here.
Oh, no.
What is it, 52% now? 56?
Yeah, the numbers vary a little bit depending on which report you're looking at, but the majority of our population is over the age of 55.
Yeah, which is still young.
Yeah.
I consider 55, 60, When you hit about 68, okay, we're getting there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, we're increasingly a retirement community.
Yeah.
I think things like the Pine Hills development has increased that over time.
Yeah.
Folks who have had maybe a cottage in Manomet as a kid, they're now moving there in their retirement.
I know a lot did.
Because who wouldn't want to live there?
Yeah.
Full time. I mean, Manomet's beautiful. But we see it everywhere. The population's getting older, and we need to find ways that we can help out. The Age and Dementia Friendly Initiative.
Yeah.
This CHIP process is just building now on the great work that they're doing in the Health and Human Services Department.
I noticed at the Pine Hills, the islands that they put in.
Yep.
And now it looks like they're going to plant flowers on those islands. Mm-hmm. Well, I always said in Manomet, when you come into Manomet, that island there should be dug out and flowered.
Are you talking about by Powerhouse Road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything like that, I think it just lends itself to the beauty of the town.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Alice Baker down on Whitehorse Beach. She is the
Alice! I love Alice.
She's great. She's the longtime chair of the Manomet Village Steering Committee.
Yeah.
Alice spends a lot of her time at the end of spring, beginning of summer, going around and making sure that there are flowers, like in the at the intersection, at the light by Luke's Liquors, and down along Whitehorse Beach.
She wanted that named after her granddaughter,
Yeah.
and I think Melissa said no.
Oh.
Which I was upset about. But Alice is a wonderful human being.
She's outstanding. One of the great members of our community.
She is. She cares so much. But she's a go-getter too. She's not, all talk.
She doesn't take no for an answer.
No. God. No. I think there's a bunch of us. Betty, Alice, and me.
Yeah.
The
Manomet trio.
Whatever. And it used to be Randy Parker's wife.
Yeah.
God love her.
And God bless Randy.
And God bless Randy.
Yeah.
He's missed.
he is.
My son and I went and visited his grave
Yeah.
a couple of Saturdays ago. Yeah.
He was a great guy.
He was. He cared deeply.
He lived right up until the end, though. I mean, I went and visited him a couple of months before he passed away, and he was just the same person he had always been.
I always said, Randy, you've been sprinkled with pixie dust, but he got things done.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and if he didn't like something, you knew it.
I know. I've been on the other end of that at times.
Now, what are we going to do about the Symes house? You know what I say?
Yeah.
It should be struck by lightning. At least we'd get the insurance.
Right. I do think that something is coming in the near future. There's been an RFP that was put out, and we have seen interest from one group. There's still a little bit of negotiating that needs to occur.
If there is no commercial kitchen in there,
Yeah.
it's going to fall on its face again.
Yeah.
The rug was taken out from us when Melissa took out that kitchen.
Yeah.
Because that was going to bring in a lot of money. Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah.
They can do every little dinky little booble thing there, and it's not going to bring in a lot of money.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, there's so much red tape layered upon.
Because it's CPC money.
Yeah, and it's all 3 CPCs, so it's historical preservation, open space, and affordable housing. So you almost can't do anything to that.
That's why I say lightning, strike it, get the insurance, and get out.
Yeah. You know, I think we have to be more judicious about how we spend our CPC money, and you sit on that board.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what happened? Did you hear that story?
About Symes?
How it came to be?
I'd be delighted to learn more.
Okay, so listen. We're at town meeting, and all of a sudden we hear that this dilapidated building on Point Road was going to be taken down for a 40B. Well, precincts 6 and 7 stood right up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's the first time we heard it.
Yeah.
I mean, we work all year hearing about all the articles.
Right.
What the heck is this?
Yep.
So we scrambled, and Randy ran up to the podium, and he's scribbling. So we did a fast little article thing, and to halt that business that was going to happen.
Yep.
And the Symes house was born.
Yeah.
But it was done with great intent.
Yeah.
It was done with, you know, we were going to bring in more money because of the commercial kitchen.
Right.
We were going to have shows there and teaching how to cook and dinners and things of that nature. No, whipped right out from under her because she didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, I think it's a beautiful building, but it's fallen apart underneath us.
Yeah, and the more it stays, the more it costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I hope that we're able to sign a long-term lease in the very near future.
God bless them, whoever they are, because I don't know. But listen, I want to thank you for coming.
Of course, I'm always happy to be here,
Yeah,
Karen.
well, you and I, we talk anyway.
We do.
Yes, you're very accessible.
Thank you.
And one of the nicest selectmen.
I appreciate that.
And you and Dickie, you always have a warm spot in my heart.
I appreciate that.
And I miss Charlie terribly.
I miss him too. He was a great little partner to have next to me.
He was wonderful. But you're welcome back anytime.
I'd be excited to be here. I'm sure my wife will be back too.
Oh, yes, absolutely. She wanted me to go to her thing.
She's got a great conference.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, I'll see you in 2 weeks.